So here we go. We're back to this is Lost Fortune Part 3. If you're following along with us, we need to get this out. Remember now. Let me maximize this. Just big picture. Allocate memory, store it in the memory, and do some sort of storage mathematical calculation. And the concept that I want to point out here is, regardless of the game that you play, every time you play this game, this becomes kind of like a template. They fill in the number, it does the mathematical calculation, and then it prompts the user just to output it to the screen with it. All right, so that's all you're doing is what you're doing. So the next step is tell the story. That's what you're doing. So you're going to output. It's like Mad Lib. You know, if you ever played Mad Lib, it asks you, give me 3 nouns, give me 3 verbs, and then it just fills in those verbs for you. And it's a neat way how to tell a story with it. So in here, this is what we're going to actually look at. Let me scroll up a little bit so you can see how this is word wrapping with it. And I'm going to actually put this aside here. So we'll continue where we left off. We're at this stage right here, a brave group of folks. Okay, so here's what I need to do. I need to actually get the same outputs what I have. What do I look at right here? So I need a C out and line, right? So it just moves down to the next line with me. So that gives it a blank line right here between the enter and this next starting to tell the story with it. All right. So the first thing I need to do is to output this thing. So I need to do C out. This is basically how I would tell the story. Now I'm going to either do an end line here, or what's another way to do this thing? Or I could do what? A backslash n right here will take it onto another new line for me, right? So there are a couple of ways you can actually do this thing. So, you know, it's up to you. But I'm going to leave it at a brave group of, okay, so I need to close that off. What? 12 is what? Adventurer. That's where the adventures need to come in right now, right? Let me move this over here so I can actually have a little bit more room so we could see. So in here, a brave group of, and a blank, and I would have the insertion of the extraction of the variables adventurer. Okay, that goes here, and continue with my the rest of my string space set out on a quest. Okay, and then let me go ahead and put a space there and semicolon, and I want to keep this as multiple statements so we could see, so it's wrapping with the same. So I'm going to start with another string. All right, I'm looking at dash dash in search of the lost treasure of the ancient dwarfs. Close that off, and then that will finish that one sentence with it. Coming down again, this is continue. I'm not taking this to the next line or anything like that. That's to do a C out, continuing with the group was led. The group was led by a legendary rogue. Okay, so continuing that, the group was led by that legendary rogue, and I have to put in the leader's name right now. So coming over this side, insertion my leader, that variable leader, right? And this would actually fit in as, I'm going to put in what? Next line down, so you could do a backslash n with it and a semicolon over here. So if I compile this right now, it should give me this first paragraph, right? And as I go through this, with you, we're going to the second paragraph along the way. Okay, so you do the second one, C out, with another along the way. A band of marauding orgs ambush the party. Okay, so let me see what the rest of this is so I can actually. So along the way, they were ambushed by the party with it. So the party, I would actually end with a period, put a space after it. All right, I'm going to end it with, and I'm going to do C out this time with it, continuing that, and it will say another string, all fought bravely under the command of that fierce leader again. Come over this side, insert in your leader like you did on that first paragraph, and then you're going to actually come over and end that with it. So that's that first leader with it. Now, after a while, come down here, see out. You're going to actually add in a little comma after your name with it, right? So put a comma, space with it, and the orgs were defeated, but at a cost with this. So close your quote, semicolon, and you can do another C out with this thing of another string with this thing of the adventurers you tell me the number of killed, the variables in here, right? Killed, that goes here, and you would actually output is continuing those were vanquished. Okay, and then you can semicolon. Now, just to give a sense why I'm doing this is you can do this in one string. It doesn't have to be exactly what I have right here. As long as it displays the way how you display it, it looks like that with it. So as long as you get the same display as what I have, it doesn't have to be with it. What I'm giving this multiple insertion and strings in here because they're fragmented, the group, and then backslash n takes down to the next line, and a semicolon in the same. Okay, now the last part. Look at this thing. This is very, very important, folks. This is very important right here. There's a let me. It's kind of hard for me to talk at the same time, so let me pause the recorder for a moment,